I don't know what it is, Doug. I just have this terrible pain.
Stabbing pain in your side.
But anyway. Yeah.
Vaudeville. We love it.
Did we see what we're wearing today?
Oinks and piggies.
Oinks
and kitties.
And kitties.
Sorry.
Both of which were made by Miss Carol.
Miss Carol. We love her
She's
for that.
very, very talented. That Miss Carol,
Tons
she's something.
of pigs.
And it's good to know she's the only one here at the TV station that has something to fall back on if the career collapses. Which, of course, could never happen in broadcasting.
Never.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm Larry, and you're Doug.
Are we?
And we're Cookin Sheep.
Are we?
And we're going to do something exciting today.
I hope so, because everything else is pretty. Well, we're so exciting that the witch dropped her note.
No, the witch hasn't even gotten off the ground and has already dropped
Sort
the
of
note.
having.
All right, here we go.
Oh, sorry, honey.
Fly her out of here.
Goodbye.
All righty. Says here, isn't it funny that these things are always written on my company letterhead?
I know, it's amazing. I think somebody broke in and stole it.
Dear Doug and Larry, for the last couple of weeks, you guys have just been awful.
Hey.
That torte that Bly fixed last week, while lovely in flavor, was as ugly as my Uncle Marvin the day after. Don't know what that means. Come on, guys. I know you can cook, but are you capable of doing anything pretty?
Oh.
Please cook up some nice-looking food as well as the laughs. Shirley of Bethesda, Maryland.
Don't call me Shirley.
Shirley, we can probably do that. What I'm cooking today is not pretty. It's good, but it's not pretty.
Why not?
It just didn't. I mean, it's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be good.
Will you share it with what we're doing?
I guess I should tell you what it is. Sent in by Sam Holbeck.
Know him well.
And it's upside-down pie.
Well, there's a first.
I've never heard of that.
Me either.
Apple pie.
Apple pie.
Upside-down apple pie.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
I had a bad start with that upside-down things, you know.
What?
Like,
oh, yeah, that's right. You
yeah,
did, didn't you?
So,
well, anyway.
Not good. I'm doing Indonesian beef, sent in by a good friend of mine, Seal Tischler of Roanoke, who's a volunteer at Mill Mountain Theater. We love her. And this is good goody, kids. This is going to be a lot of fun.
And the very lovely Doris is going to be here. She is doing Nellie's Slaw. And
Does Nellie know about it?
Nellie's not happy about it.
Okay.
Sent in by Tom from the Internet. The mysterious Tom from the Internet. You know who you are.
Tom,
So
did
anyway.
you snag
So anyway, go ahead.
Nellie's Slaw?
Have a good time.
Okay, well, I'm going to discuss what you have to do first, like the day before. So I actually started this last night. Aren't you excited?
I am.
I thought you would be. You're going to take a pound of top sirloin, slice it very thin. I know you've heard this little tip before, but stick it in the freezer for a little bit, and it makes it a whole lot easier to slice. And then you're going to make a marinade, and I will tell you what's in that marinade. And you're going to do this and marinate it overnight. It's a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 clove minced garlic, a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of hot red pepper, and a tablespoon of molasses.
Ooh, baby.
And you marinate your beef in that. This is sort of what it looks like.
Well, look at it. It's real pretty.
Want to take a whiff?
Oh, wow.
Doesn't that smell good?
It's sort of like that sesame chicken and sesame beef you get down the street at one of them buffets.
And I sort of love that, you know.
Roanoke is the Chinese food buffet capital of the world.
Well, that is so true. Every corner
There
there's
are
one.
more Chinese buffets in this town that you could shake rice at. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
Now, take 2 tablespoons. I'm just blowing ahead, if you don't mind.
Go on ahead.
Okay. 2 tablespoons of Earl in your saute pan.
That's a pretty pan. I
Isn't
always
that
like
nice?
it. That's a nice pan.
Boop.
I don't have. That's one of the few items that I really actually don't have in
You
my
don't?
collection at home of my
I'm
Calhoun
surprised because
stuff.
you guys have everything in the
I
world.
know, but I keep asking Santa Claus to bring me the wok, and no one wants to pay the $150 for it.
Well, you know, I got this.
I guess I'll have to do it
I got
myself.
this at a local store, and it was on sale.
Yeah?
Yes, it did.
For how much?
Do you really want me to tell you?
Mm-hmm.
15.
15?
Yep.
Makes me want to hit you over the head with
Well,
it.
you do it anyway, so what difference would that be?
Not really. I wouldn't
Yes, he
want
is.
to hit
He's
him
mean
over
to
the
me, people. He's mean, 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 mean.
head. Okay.
Okay, go
Now
ahead.
with this. I'm going to take a pie plate, ordinary pie plate. I have lots of pie plates. They're all Tootsies. I have every one of them she ever gave me. And I'm just going to take a little Pam and spray that because we want this to, because this is an upside down affair, we want this to be able to release when we turn it upside down and not stick and go all over the place. But Miss Doris tells me that there's a possibility it's going to do that anyway. It's a little bit tricky. You got to get this out of the oven and turn it over immediately, or it'll stick, we think. So the first thing we have to do is take walnut halves, and you have to, they're very specific about this.
You have to spell out words or something?
You're going to be very specific. You put the nuts flat side up, or the nut people will come around and check you out here and make sure, you know, give you a bad grade. So make sure you put, well, wait a minute, that's not the flat side. While I'm doing it, well, I can't tell what the flat side looks like. Well, what is the flat side of a half a one? Now, this is confusing. See, that's the flat side of a whole one. But what's the flat? Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do it the way old what's-her-name said. Sam. Okay, go ahead.
I can't believe you're going to do that with those.
This is going to take a while.
Oh, no kidding.
Well, it says...
Okay, well, I'm going to take the beef, which I have marinated overnight, and I'm going to...
And it smells so good.
And we're going to... Oops, well, it's not even high enough. It'll go. Come on, baby.
Yeah, that's... you know, Chinese restaurants would give you a flunking grade right off the bat because you threw it in there and it didn't sizzle, didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
It's still sitting there.
I know. Isn't this embarrassing?
Tune in next
tomorrow
week at this time, and it'll still be sitting
when we
there.
will do the days of our lives.
Do you suppose they remember to plug the stove in?
No, it's actually starting to do something.
Oh, okay. All right. We sometimes.
Okay,
don't.
here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a faint sizzle is starting to happen.
You know what we need to do, Mike Carroll, in the back? We need to have that sizzle sound effect ready. That's
I know.
what we need to do.
We used to have laugh tracks. Remember that?
I know. Yes,
Yeah.
it is true.
Whatever happened to that, we wonder.
I'm placing a half a cup of walnut halves. Some of them are quarters,
Well,
some
that's
even
okay.
smaller than that, into this bowl. And I'll guarantee that not all of them are flat side up, but I can't tell the difference. I'm doing the best I can, ladies and gentlemen. We're down to the final wire on this thing. I'm also melting a quarter of a cup of butter or margarine. I'm doing a margarine today. And because we're going to be pouring that in here very shortly. And there we go.
Okay.
Okay, Doug.
I have thrown the beef in. It is sizzling away. Reserve your marinade. And now we're going to stir fry this for about 3 minutes until the beef starts. Ooh, this is just smelling good already. Don't you know? Don't you love this? Is this working for you?
Brown sugar. Third of a cup.
Now you're going to saute for about 3 minutes or so, and then we're going to add some more surprising ingredients. I'm not really, you know, a connoisseur of Indonesian or that kind of cuisine, you know.
What'd you say about your sore?
Cuisine. You know, cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not...
But what? What's the point?
There's some mysterious little ingredients that you put in this thing.
Oh, okay.
And...
Well, you know, sometimes, Doug, those mysterious little ingredients are what make the recipe very special.
Okay, well, cool. Well, Seal told me that this is just a really, really yummy thing.
Well, it smells great already. It
Doesn't
really.
it?
I mean, if you didn't do anything else but flop that on rice, it'd be fabulous.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you're going to do it, but you're going to have some fun little thing. I wish this thing would just like sit. There we go.
The next thing I have to do is I have to pour melted butter over these walnuts.
Yum.
All around, like so. You'd think that with all that butter, nothing would stick anyway, but it's a good idea to probably put some ham on there. And the next thing we're going to do then is we're going to pat brown sugar over the nuts. And it calls for 1/3 of a cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. Doesn't look like enough to go over the whole thing, but obviously it is. Yeah, so we'll just take it and do that. And we'll press it down with our hands. We hope. We hope. You'll have to admit this is starting out to be an interesting recipe. Well, it does, 1/3 of a cup.
Everything
goes
is
around,
good, okay.
Goes around pretty good there. And just pat it down. This is very therapeutic. Very, very lovely. Very nice. So anyway, that goes on there. And then we're going to put some pastry over top of that
Yum.
and seal it around the edges. and seal it around the edges.
Okay.
And this just calls for you can make up your own pastry if you want to, but you know me, I'm not going to make it. So, okay, Doug, while I'm getting this out and unfolding it.
Okay, here's one of the little secret ingredients.
Ooh, it's starting to roll now.
It's peanut butter. I hear no comment from Larry Bly.
I love peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Now that is strange.
Okay, well, you take your leftover marinade, you've pushed your beef to the side, throw in the rest of the marinade, 1/3 of a cup of water, and 1/3 of a cup of, yes, ladies and gentlemen, creamy peanut butter. How can you not go wrong with this? You know, this is like going back to school.
Seems to me like it wouldn't hurt if you used the stuff that's got the nuts in it, too.
Well, that's...
Crunchy peanut butter. I'll bet that'd be good, too.
You could, but you see, you add peanuts to the end of this recipe.
There you go. But you see, if you did the crunchy peanut butter, you wouldn't have to add peanuts
I know.
to the end.
But then we just have to be here looking at stupid at each other. I mean, any more than usual.
Now, what are you going to do?
I'm stirring this until the peanut butter melts. Come on, this is looking good, isn't it?
Oh, I like it. I agree. I think it's wonderful. It smells terrific. Okay, while he's doing that, what we take, we've bought the 2 pie dough rounds, and you take one of them, and you put this down over it, and I guess you kind of work this down with your fingers into the, like so. Don't press too hard, says my prompter. And then it's very important that you get rid of the excess, I understand. Right? Am I correct? It doesn't say to fold it over. It says get rid of it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Take off all the excess. We're going to seal it up here in a little bit when we get the next batch of stuff together. Okay, Doug?
Okay, weird ingredient number 2. Bananas.
Bananas.
Is this just like working your nerve to a farthy well? You take 3 bananas, not 1, not 2, but 3.
I'm getting to it, Doris. It'll take me a while, but I'm getting there.
And you're going to chunkaroni, chunk, 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 chunk. Ew, I don't like the ends. Do you like the ends? No. He's not even paying a bit of attention to me. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and do what I like to do.
1/2 cup of granulated sugar goes in here.
Isn't this exciting? No.
That's not granulated sugar.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Frosted Flakes, ladies and gentlemen.
I just hate the fact that they now package up
Everything that looks alike.
everything that looks alike.
Right. Ooh.
Well, I have no granulated. I have confectioners. I may have to go with it.
Well, it's not like we don't
ordinary
have...
sugar around here.
Yeah, go in here, and you'll see and snag the coffee one.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank heavens. It's a good thing they entertain around here during the week. That's all I got to say.
Okay, Larry, you ready?
See, look at this. This used to be the look of granulated or 10X sugar. Now they're also putting brown sugar in it. It's just driving me nuts.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at this.
1/2 cup granulated sugar. Go ahead. Oh, what are you doing with the bananas?
Putting the bananas in this as well, and stir that around.
It looks wonderful, Doug. I'm
Actually,
so proud of you.
It smells pretty good,
I think
doesn't
you're
it?
going to do all right on this show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your confidence, or something. What a mess.
2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour go in here. I'm going to do that right now. 2 tablespoons. What you do is you mix up all of your dry ingredients. 1, 2. That goes in there. Next. Doug, you
Me?
got something to go in?
Yep, you
All
ready?
right.
Now the peanuts go in. We'll just take some peanuts here, and we'll spread those around in that as well. This is optional, the peanuts, but I think you need it.
Oh, I think you
Just for
definitely do.
presentation purposes alone, don't you think?
Yep.
And you just heat all this stuff through, and you serve it over rice. And there it is, Indonesian beef. It's kind of simple. Just takes you the night before to marinate your beef. And it's gooey, and it's so good for you.
I just added a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, or to taste it says, and an eighth of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg goes in there, and about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Can I borrow your salt?
Of course.
Over
What's
there?
mine is
Quarter
yours.
of a teaspoon of salt goes in here. Also, I'm just going to mix that around a little bit.
Well, I'm so proud of you. It's the
There
truth.
you go. Thank you. In
Thanks.
case you need that again. Let's
I don't. I'm
mix
through.
that up. And that goes there. Okay. That's all your dry ingredients. I think that's everything, as I recall. Now we're going to take a moment out for the Cook sisters.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, sweet. Are you finished up with yours?
I'm through.
Ooh, it looks beautiful. What's going to be served on?
Rice.
Rice. We'll get back to that in just a minute, but first, the Cook sisters.
Yeah.
Hey, Roxy.
Hey, Toots.
What's no good?
Oh, you don't want to know. Oh, it's
well,
terrible.
I know something good. I have a
You do?
tip for you here.
Really?
This was sent in by a viewer from Louisiana.
Really?
I just made that
Emerald?
up. I don't know. Cheesy apple pie. Don't just serve cheese with apple pie. Bake it right in the pie. Spread grated sharp cheddar in the bottom of the crust before adding the apple filling.
Well, you're right. That is kind of cheesy.
There you go. How about
you
that?
know?
We've invented a new pie.
Diggity dog.
New pie.
New pie.
I'm Tootsie Cook.
I'm Roxy Cook, and we're the Cook sisters.
In there too?
Yeah, 'cause you want it all.
Now, the next thing I have to do is I have to take apples that have already been, you can either do your own at home or you can use canned ones. And we have discovered, so I just put them down in here, I guess, and mix them around. And we're going to do all of this and put it together. I don't need quite all of those. I had to buy two,
I'll get it.
hello, two
for
cans
you.
of the stuff. So anyway, that goes on there, like so. Doug, where are you on yours at this point?
I'm watching you. I'm through.
Yours is through?
I'm waiting.
That's it?
I'm waiting.
Okay. So then what I have to do, I mix everything together and put on top of the pastry, and then we're going to put another one on top of that, and we're going to seal it up. So that goes in there like so, sort of like so.
Yummy.
And I'm just going to use my fingers because I'm to the point where I need to get this done. And then
good.
what
That really
we
looks
do,
good.
well, of course it does.
I can
Then
have
the
it
next
that
thing
way.
we do, I guess, is we take our next pastry round and put it over top of that. And this time, I assume we're going to seal it together.
Smartly done. You've
Yeah,
done
that's
this
what I'm
before,
going
haven't
to.
you?
Yes, I come from an old pie maker from way back.
Do you?
Now, if you want to get real fancy, you can take a fork and do a little doodah around the edges. Sometimes it's nice if you have a little water for this. You see why?
Because you're breaking it.
So on and so forth. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do the whole thing because I want to pull out one from the oven.
Do you have to put a hole in it?
It's 375 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes. Yeah, do you have to stick holes in it? You do. It'd be a good idea to stick holes in it, in which case you can poke the holes before you put it on there. When we take it out, you want to do that right now? Already?
Oh,
Where's the plate?
and it's beautiful.
Here's what you got to do. You got to be careful about this because it's hot.
It's ran over a little bit.
Place, we're going to place it upside down. I'm going to bring it over to the counter right now. Be very careful. What you do is, being very careful not to scald yourself or
Watch it.
hurt yourself.
Watch your little patty.
You bring it in upside down, and it comes out
Beauteous.
horribly.
Oops.
The whole thing stuck. Well, it's not so pretty, ladies and gentlemen. We think that it stayed in the oven just a little long, but what happened was, before we went on air, Doris brought one from home she brought the one that was in the oven plus this one that's been done. But what happened was we had some question as to whether we could actually leave it in the oven. And we think that you can't do that. It went a little long. If it goes long, it sticks, just like you saw. When you pull it out at the right proper moment and flip it immediately, and be very careful because the juices could go over you, it will release. There's proof of it right there. Let's do the recipes.
Oh,
Let's do the recipes. And then I'll you.
Do you want me to do mine?
Yeah.
Indonesian beef, 1 pound, boneless, top round, sliced thin, 2 tablespoons cooking oil, 1/3 cup of water, 1/3 cup creamy peanut butter, 3 large bananas cut into chunks, chopped peanuts, optional, cooked rice. The marinade again is 1/4 cup soy sauce, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1 clove minced garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper, hot, and a tablespoon of molasses. And you just enjoy.
We took a chance on that and lost. Okay, the upside-down apple pie is a 1/2 cup of walnut halves, 1/4 cup of butter or margarine melted, 1/3 cup firmly packed light brown sugar, pastry for 2 crusts 9-inch pie, unbaked, a 1/2 cup granulated sugar, 2.5 cups of apple slices, or 1 large can, you can buy them if you can find them, of canned apples, 2 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon to taste, salt, and ground nutmeg to taste. Doris, howdy.
Hi.
Thanks for your efforts on that.
Well, I think the problem with that was if you leave it in too long, it sticks too. But it was only about a minute or two since we took it out of the oven, and it was too warm.
Yeah, we knew it was
So
possible.
you have to do it between about 4 to the 5 minute time.
Tell us
and
about
we
your
ran out of
recipe.
it. But anyway, mine is coleslaw. It's a head of cabbage, 1 green pepper, 1 large Bermuda onion, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of vinegar, 2/3 cup of oil, 1 teaspoon dry mustard, 1 teaspoon celery seed. I just put everything into the food processor and chopped it up. And I added a little red pepper to it just to give it some color.
It looks pretty.
And it calls for Bermuda onion, and I don't remember the last time I ever saw a Bermuda onion. So I think that if you just use a sweet onion, any kind of sweet onion that's out now, because Bermuda onions, have you ever seen Bermuda onions the last few
Not
years?
for a long
Everything's
time.
different names.
But it's a
So
beautiful
just use
salad.
the sweet one, and I think it'll be just fine.
Great, thank you. I'm going to take it over with me. Doris doing a wonderful job as always, and Doug joining us all the way over in the dining room. Let me put some of this on here for you. There
Gracias.
you are. Some of Doris's salad.
Ooh, it smells
Well,
great.
look at that. Isn't that pretty? And we do indeed have separate little plates for the pie.
Of course, I have to tell you something.
What?
I was a big weenie today.
I noticed while she was talking, I looked over and saw Mr. Doug. He called for takeout, Chinese takeout. Well, that's one way to take care of it, I guess.
Well, I'm so nervous about making rice. I have a horrible rice story. Someday I'll tell you all about it. But it wasn't pretty, ladies and gentlemen, so I thought it would be easier just to go get it from the people who know how to do it.
It wasn't the same one that my Aunt Molly had, was it? Where when she first went to home keeping, I think that she poured the whole bag into a little container, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And
Well,
she,
I could have
Well, anyway.
I could have papered 14 rooms with what I made. You know? Is that any good?
I love it. I really do.
That was the
And
best.
anything with peanuts and stuff like that. Oh, that is really good. You know, that may be one of the best things you've ever made.
Yum. That is good, isn't it?
Isn't that great?
Yummy.
And crunchy, too.
Just like candy.
We may have to,
Take this home.
we may. Let me try. Have you tried Doris's?
The slaw is delicious. I'd like to take some of that home, too.
Doris, that slaw is great. I love that. I think I like that better than any slaw I've had in a long
Me
time.
too. Okay, I'll try your pie.
Now, this looks a little dry.
Your pie.
This is my pie that Doris made for me because
You had a bad week.
I had a death in my family.
Yes, you
and
did.
She's so sweet. Oh, we forgot the ice cream.
Oh, that's okay.
First, to slather ice cream on that.
I'm telling you, it's good.
Well, it's good and hot. Put that on there.
Yummy.
I'm telling you,
I think we could
these
make
are
a
good.
meal out of
These
this.
are great,
Don't you think?
great recipes. They really are. Yes, I love it.
Everything is delicious.
It's all real good. You'll want these. I'm telling you, you will.
Right in now.
Especially this thing with that you've done with the bananas and the peanuts and
Aren't
all
you
that
impressed?
stuff, and beef and everything.
Seal promised me. to
Well,
be good.
thanks for coming along, and see you next week.